What's up, everybody? So we're according to me slash the top 10 list. It's your boy AJ Tripp, and this today we are doing the top 10 wide receivers in NFL history. Monday, I started with the top 10 defensive plays in NFL history. So today we're doing the top 10 wide receivers. Wednesday we'll go to the running backs. Thursday, start of the day, we'll go to the quarterbacks. And then, of course, Friday we will hit the top 10 Chicago Bears. I know there's 15 on the list. Top 10, top 15, whatever. Chicago Bears of all time to get you ready for the start of the NFL season. It's fun. There's all the action. As always, in this video, I will give you my top 10. And this comes from Ranker. So there's a link down in the description box. You can go to my Ranker profile. You can take and you can create your own list. You have to have a Ranker account. That's easy to sign up for. It doesn't take very long, and then you can create your own top 10 list and share it to the world. Or if you do videos, you can make your own videos. I think I found this out that this actually is very good for the top 10 list. And I think that's I did it with my top 10 redheads list, redheads video, and I found that it was very easy. I thought that, well, I would do it for the top 10 list, and it's become kind of easy and very easy to do and easy to produce and things like that. So I was like, yes. So from now on, all of my top 10 lists that I would do will probably end up being like this. It will end up being like this. I think the only difference I'm trying to think of is if my top 10 goddesses list of 2016 is if I should do it like this, or should I do it the way I did it I did last year's, where it's the actual full picture. That's what I'm trying to think of, because I think you would enjoy the full pictures more than maybe just the little thumbnail and a thing, or like I have it over here, the on the side panel, something like that. So I'm not sure. So things like that. And I'm also trying to figure out, I've got so many ladies that I want to, let y'all know, to make sure that to send some love to and show love to, that would it be do I need to do more? Because last year I did an honorable mention list, and do I do an honorable mention list this year with the pictures and everything? So we will see. We definitely will see. I might do both. What I might do is I might put the top 10 list in Ranker and have it, put it up there on the side for you, and then maybe still have other big pictures or something like that. So I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll find out what goes on. But that's down the line. That's probably sometime on December 31st. That will post. So besides that, though, let's go ahead and now let's continue on. Let's talk about the top 10 wide receivers in NFL history. Number 10, Larry Fitzgerald. I think he is, it's unfortunate that he has not won a Super Bowl, but he has been so loyal to the Cardinals franchise, and he has wanted them to make it to the Super Bowl and get there, and so bad. And I think that's why he's still playing. And I think he has been, he was, in the time when the receivers were the quote unquote divas, something like that, and whatever you want to call them, the selfish players. He has always seemed to be the most unselfish player in the world, right? I mean, when the receivers were doing touchdown dances and things like that, he was just dropping the ball or spiking the ball or taking the ball to the sideline for him to keep or whatever. And listen, I'm a guy who loves celebration, so I'm not saying that that's the right way to do it or anything like that. But it does, it does say something about Larry Fitzgerald and who he is, and that he's never been as has never seemed to be as selfish as maybe some of the other players above this list has been. One in particular, there's one that there's that number 8, Marvin Harrison. There's been rumors that he was undercover selfish. That he may not have done the things that you've seen Chad Johnson or maybe Terrell Owens do on the field, on the sidelines, talking about the ball, but that he was undercover saying, Peyton, I need the fucking ball. Peyton, I need the ball. So, but that's neither here nor there about Marvin Harrison, but it is about Larry Fitzgerald, and one of some of the best things that I think he's done. He's had some of the most magical moments in this game. I think he's just one of some of the guys with the best hands in the world. I can't say enough about Larry Fitzgerald and about who he is, and I think that there's definitely a possibility that if he keeps playing, I think he can. I don't know how much longer he is playing. He's getting up there in age, but he can easily go from 10, in my opinion, to 5. That's just my opinion. I think he truly could go up there. It does, in my opinion, just in maybe 2 short years. Especially if he gets a Super Bowl or something like that in the upcoming years. And so number 10 though, right now in 2017, is Larry Fitzgerald. Number 9, Calvin Johnson. Now, why I have Calvin Johnson ahead of Larry Fitzgerald? I just think Calvin Johnson was obviously just a better player. I mean, there's nothing. I think Larry Fitzgerald was great and Calvin Johnson was great. I think, even though Calvin Johnson had a short career, I think he's good. I think he's great. I think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Without question, I think there's some people saying that he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. Well, listen, Terrell Davis is getting the Hall of Fame, so and he really only had 2 years of greatness, and then after that he went down. But I think he deserved it, and I think Calvin Johnson definitely deserves it. So, and I just thought he was like dominant. While Larry Fitzgerald was good and great, and he was kind of dominant at times, Calvin Johnson from his second year in the league to the day he retired was dominant. He was the most dominant player, a receiver of our time, of that time. I believe. I truly believe that. And as a Bears fan, he was drafted the same year that Adrian Peterson was drafted, and I said, my God, you've got Adrian Peterson running the ball in Minnesota, or you've got Calvin Johnson catching the ball in Detroit. They're going to give us fits, and they gave the Bears fits. He gave them big fits, and now let's face it, he is the face of the whole ground catching the ball to controlling it to the ground rule and everything like that. He's the face of that because of the whole thing. The first game of the season when the Bears played Detroit, he is the face. That rule is mainly because of that, something like that. So it is interesting. It's going to be interesting to see about that. So, but Calvin Johnson, great player, Hall of Famer, number 9 on my list of the top 10 NFL players of all top 10 wide receivers in NFL history. Excuse me. Number 8, Marvin Harrison. I talked about him a little bit earlier, and I do think Marvin Harrison was consistently good, consistently great. Before Peyton got there, he was good. When Peyton got there, made him even better. He has the single season record for most receptions in a year, I believe. I don't know if Antonio Brown got close to that or if he did break it, but I know Marvin Harrison did have it for the longest time. I still have it. And he was, I think he was consistently good, consistently great. And he was one, again, like I mentioned, he didn't get up and make first down signals, or he didn't do touchdown dances, or he didn't do anything like that. And that's not the reason why that made him great, but it gave him, I think, a lot more respect amongst the leagues and like that. I think a lot of people did not like, the antics that receivers, and did not like the way they gave receivers things, and they give receivers a bad name. But listen, it's NFL for entertainment. So, and I'm glad they're bringing back the celebrations this year. I hope you see some good group celebrations and some good, I'm kind of upset that you can't do the arrow, but whatever. So. I kind of wish that you could do this, but I understand why, because that's the throat slash, and that's got something to do with killing. But listen, WWE, The Undertaker, Undertaker should do this. He would go like this, meaning it's over, and well, whatever. Anyway, Marvin Harrison, I think was just good. I think when Reggie, he was part of that season when. Where it was Reggie Wayne, it was Brendan Stokely, and it was Marvin Harrison. Each one of them had 1,000 yards receiving and then 10 touchdowns. And that was also the season that Peyton Manning broke the passing record the first time. So I just think he's been a part of so many good teams, and he's been a major part of that. And listen, I think Peyton Manning made him better, but I also think that probably, Peyton Manning got to be a little bit better because of him. I think Peyton Manning, listen, we all know when Peyton Manning became elite his second year in the league, and he stayed elite until his last year in the league. But I also think that first year, not only Marshall helped him, but Marvin Harrison helped him as well. Become that elite quarterback. So. But I think it was probably 95% Peyton himself. So, but number 8 on my list of the top 10 wide receivers in NFL history, Marvin Harrison. Number 7, Cris Carter. You want to talk about somebody that frustrated the hell out of me? Boy, he would get to that sideline, catch that ball, tap those 2 feet, and get up and go first down and piss me the fuck off, because he would just kill the Bears. Just kill them. He was a great receiver, and he had some troubles at the beginning of his career with Philadelphia. Had some issues that he needed to get rid of, and I think one of the things that also made Cris Carter great was also Chris Berman and Tom Jackson making fun of Buddy Ryan, because when Buddy Ryan was the coach of the Eagles, and they talked about Cris Carter, they talked about he made the mention. All he does is catch touchdowns. and the guy just like, well, what's wrong with that? And that's what Chris Berman and Tom Jackson would say on NFL primetime. They think all he does is catch touchdowns. And that was pretty funny. So, but yeah, Cris Carter was a great one. He had a record. I think it was one of those things where Herman Moore of the Detroit Lions broke the record for most receptions in the season. Then Cris Carter the next year broke it by 1. And then, of course, like I mentioned earlier, Marvin Harrison broke it several years later. But, yeah, Cris Carter, just a truly dominant wide receiver, was dominant in his era. He did catch a lot of touchdowns, and he did get a lot of passes as well. He never got that ring, unfortunately, for him, but... And I think he taught something to Randy Moss as well. So, number 7 on the list of the greatest wide receivers, top 10 wide receivers in NFL history, Cris Carter. Number 6, Michael Irvin. And I guess why I get Michael Irvin number 6 ahead of Cris Carter, Marvin Harrison, Kevin Johnson, and Larry Fitzgerald. And I was thinking about every time that I come back and do these lists, I think about reordering them and seeing if I need to do some changes or anything like that, and that's what I did. I did that with my quarterbacks and something like that. List you'll see Thursday, and so I was just like, is Michael Irvin 6, and I think why I've got Michael Irvin 6. Just because I think that he was probably more important to his team than the other guys were. But I really do think that we look at the team, they had other players, they had other receivers and things like that. And I think Larry Fitzgerald, he didn't. other than Larry Fitzgerald, he never really had someone else kind of across from him. Well, at one point he had Anquan Boldin. That's right. He did have Anquan Boldin, but for the most part, he didn't have anybody across from him. It's just been him all along. But I really do think that if Michael Irvin was not on the team, I don't think the Dallas Cowboys win any Super Bowls. I really don't think that, and I really think like if you put the other 8 on that team, maybe they would won possibly 2, but they don't win 3. Because Michael Irvin was a big part of that. I think he really is underrated for what he did. I think some of his off the field issues put a damper on his career, which is unfortunate because that should not happen. I think that's maybe the reason why he didn't go into a Hall of Famer. He didn't go in on the first ballot when he should have. It took him a couple years to go in there. But yeah, I do think that he is, I do think he is great, and I think that he is definitely a top 10 wide receiver of all time. If someone want to say that maybe the other 4 below him are better, I'm not going to put up a big argument of it, but that's just for me. I'm going to say that he's number 6. Best wide receiver in NFL history, and for me, that's just how I feel. Michael Irvin, number 6. Number 5, Steve Largent. I think this guy is truly. I think he was so dominant, but people have forgotten about him. The guy above him, we'll get to in a minute. But he was so dominant, and the fact was, a little bit because he played in Seattle when Seattle was bad for a little while, and let's also face it, he's white, so people don't like to think that that white guys can be better at things than the black athlete, something like that. There's some type of underlying almost racist type stuff when they think about that. You saw with Jason Sehorn. They thought that Jason Sehorn wasn't a good quarterback, and he just got a lot of publicity because he was white. And in a time where every cornerback was black, so he was a white cornerback, so we had to give him love. But he was a very good one. Sure, he had his mistakes, his pants fell down, but he was a good cornerback. And sure, he married. He went on the Tonight Show and proposed to Angie Harmon, so he got a famous wife. That doesn't matter, I think he was a good. He was a good cornerback, and I think Steve Largent was a great wide receiver. There's no doubt about that. And I think people forget that because of all the people who went before him and come after him. But he was good and he was great, and he was at one point he was the all-time leading receiver in NFL history. And the catches he made, him and Zorn in Seattle were just awesome to be around, and it was fantastic, and I think, and it really was. And Steve Largent, number 5, he is a top 5 all-time receiver. I think there is no question about that. And same number 4, Art Monk. I mean, and Art Monk was done so wrong because I think Art Monk actually beat Steve Largent's record. Because you see, Largent retired in in 88, 89, something like that, and Art Monk later, I think around 92, 93, beat Steve Largent's record for the most receptions in NFL history. And then so he was obviously one of the greatest receivers of all time, and it took him almost the damn 15 years to get into the Hall of Fame. And that was just ridiculous. And I don't know what they were saying about Art Monk. And Art Monk was fantastic. Part of the Smurfs, in a thing, and they would call Smurfs because they're all short receivers. So we call them Smurfs. Art Monk, Reggie Sanders, Gary Clark. I remember those. I also remember the Three Amigos in Denver. Vance Johnson, Mark Jackson, I think it was, and it was another Ricky Nattiel. Bam! Do not fuck with me when it comes to football, man. I know my shit. So, and yeah, so this was This was, I think, very epic. So, Art Monk was there, and he was so good, and he was tremendous. And he was a big part of the Super Bowl championships, and it was a shame it took him so long to get into the Hall of Fame. But without question, he is a top 10 receiver of all time. And on my list, he is a top 5 receiver of all time, without question. Art Monk, number 4 on my list of the 10 receivers of all time. Number 3, Terrell Owens. It is a travesty that he is not he was not a first ballot Hall of Famer. It is not a travesty. And listen, I don't want to go John Yurkovich here. John Yurkovich is a radio personality here in Chicago, and he's been clowning on Bill Polian for his thoughts that both Terrell Owens and Randy Moss should not be in the Hall of Fame because of the actions they displayed on and off the field, and they were maybe bad teammates, things like that. So I'm gonna discredit Bill Polian because he created the Bills Super Bowl team. He built a good Panthers team, and he built a legendary Indianapolis Colts team. So I'm not going to get on him for that, but his comments about Terrell Owens and Randy Moss are stupid. Terrell Owens is without question a first ballot Hall of Famer. I mean, this guy for years, sure, and he went to many teams, but for years when he went to that team, he caught 70 balls, 1,000 yards, and 10 touchdowns. What else do you need from a receiver other than that? And that's what he did. And he was just amazing, and he cut it every year. And then when he went to Philly, and he broke his leg, in the third to last game of the season. And then he worked his butt off, and slept in hyperbaric chambers and things like that to get to the Super Bowl, to play in the Super Bowl, and worked hard and things like that. And he caught 10 or 11 balls in that game, for over 100 yards, and did everything he could to help Philadelphia win that Super Bowl. And still people don't want to give him the credit that he deserves and everything like that. And it is just and listen, you don't have to like his antics, or you don't have to like, some of the celebrations and things like that, but when it came to game, as Rasheed Wallace like to say about Rasheed Wallace say about basketball, ball don't lie, and his ball don't lie. Warren Sapp, we talk about the eye in the sky don't lie. He talks about the all 22 and everything like that. The film, this all 22 film don't lie. That's a Hall of Famer. That's a top 3 wide receiver all time, without question. Terrell Owens. Number 2, Randy Moss. Man, that guy, but I think Randy Moss, because we talk about Randy Moss and Jerry Rice, I kind of associate that with Michael Jordan and Shaquille O'Neal effect. Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time. I think that's a point blank period in a discussion type thing, right? But I would be willing to say that Shaquille O'Neal may be the most dominant player in NBA history, and I think you can say that without saying that. Sure, Michael Jordan was great and he's the greatest of all time, but Shaquille O'Neal was the most dominant. And then some people say, well, don't be the best, don't you have to be dominant? No, not really. And I think that's it. We had this right here with Jerry Rice and Randy Moss. I think Jerry Rice, obviously number 1, he's the best wide receiver in the history of the game. But Randy Moss was the most dominant, basically because he could go up and grab it. Jerry Rice never had to do that, and it was a different time, and it was a different time, different league, and it was a different offense. They threw slants. And they threw drags, the West Coast offense, so all he had to do was just catch those and goes. There was really hardly ever any deep passes or anything like that, and that's how he made his catches, and he caught it, and he got the first down, and all of those other things. But Randy Moss would just go up, and as they call it now, Moss. He would just Moss cornerbacks. Go grab it, at the top, jump, get it, touchdown. And he got this, he was without question the most dominant receiver in the history of the league, I think, in my opinion, and there's no doubt about that. And I think if he had more consistency, if he would have had some more years, if he would have had more great years when he was with the Raiders, or if you'd had more great years the last couple years when he was with the 49ers or something like that. You know, if you'd had more years, I think there would definitely be an argument about him being the greatest receiver of all time. Without question, but I still think those years in Oakland, those last couple years in San Francisco or wherever else he was at, going back to Minnesota in that trade when he was with New England, I definitely think that those maybe don't look too well on him, but he's the most dominant receiver of all time. He's number 2 on the list, Randy Moss, and I talked about number 1 being Jerry Rice, and he was. Again, we're talking about Marvin Harris consistency. We're talking about the guy consistency. I think the there's only 2 times in his career he didn't have 1,000 yards receiving. I think that was the year he broke his leg in '95, and then the last year of his career when he went to Seattle. Otherwise, he was dominant in San Francisco. He was dominant, in Oakland, and he was just, you could tell that he was the man. And listen, he's in the argument with Walter Payton. If I were to do a top 10 offensive players list, he's in the argument with Walter Payton. It's either Walter Payton or Jerry Rice at number 1. And I had to try to take my bias out of it because I'm a Chicago Bears fan and Walter Payton's my favorite player and everything like that. But I don't even know if I can take my bias out of it. I really do. No, it's come up, like that. So that's why I'm probably not going to do a top 10 offensive players list. But it is what it is. Jerry Rice, without question, the greatest wide receiver in NFL history, and number 1 on my list. So, and probably number 1 on your list. So once again, the link is down in the description box below to my page. You can go and find the top 10 wide receivers list, re-rank it, list, make your own list, and then share it and publish it out for the world to see. And if you want to, you can come back to my video, post it in the comment section, let people know what you think. Let me know what you think about your list and any other list. Did I forget anybody? I'm not sure. A lot of people are going to say there's talk about a lot of other people too. They might talk about the Steelers receiver Stallworth and what's his face, Swan. They're probably going to try to talk about the Rams, the greatest show on turf, Bruce and Holt. They might talk about Anquan Bolden, who just retired. Who's definitely had a good career. I don't know if he's in the top 10. I think there are other ones as well that you can even think of. I mentioned Herman Moore. He had a fantastic few years in Detroit. So there are many guys I think people are going to name, but I think I have the right 10 without question. So like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and thank you so much for watching. This is your boy AJ Tripp signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there, and I am out.